We're going to be talking about unrealistic goal setting and setting ourselves up for failure. So let's briefly talk about what I am trying to explain here. Now, New Year's, it's New Year, and this is where a lot of people put their goals in place, New Year's resolutions, to see how they can achieve them throughout this year. Now, it's come to my attention as a trainer that a lot of people have been putting goals in place or goal settings in place, things that they'd like to achieve, especially clients in general, people that I see on social media and just who I talk to on a regular basis, are looking to achieve goals that may not necessarily sit and work around this circumstance. Now, we're in a global pandemic, and this pandemic is preventing us from having accessibility to things that we may have or we take for granted to help us achieve our goals. For example, the weather is awful, nothing to do with the pandemic, but the weather is awful right now. Hit and miss when it comes to that. It can be -1 degrees, it can be pouring down with rain, or it can be snowing, it could have a bit of sun, but very guessing the weather. We have no accessibility to gyms. There is a lot of people I know, parents in particular, that are now homeschooling, that are having to work from home, juggle their work and juggle their home life, as well as everything else that they have to do on a daily basis. Now, I'm quite fortunate and I don't have to deal with that. I can only look after myself, let alone little humans. But there's a lot of people that have got a lot of stress on their shoulders right now. And on top of that, giving yourself an unrealistic goal, for example, losing a particular amount of body weight, trying to gain strength or hit PBs, being able to prep food on a Sunday, every Sunday, so that it works around you and your family. Now, are these realistic goals with the circumstances that you've got around you? Are you realistically going to be able to prep your food on a Sunday, reach your PB, and hit the gym or the workout, 6-7 times a week? Is that realistic because of what else is going on around your lifestyle? Can you really achieve that? Is that going to be something that's sustainable for you to get there? That's something that I want to talk about, unrealistic goals. Rather than think about what we want to do or what we could have done with normal circumstances, what can we do in a situation, an environment that we're in now where we haven't got accessibility to equipment or gyms? We have a lot less time on our hands because we're juggling other things in our life, homeschooling, kids, working from home, weather outside. Are these all going to be things that affect our targets and our goals? So let's think about things that we can control. All that stuff that I've just spoke about previously, we can't. So setting ourselves up to failure when it comes to giving us those goals that are just not going to happen. And I mean, it's a personal thing for me as well. I mean, I'd love to be able to hit the gym and get another PB because that's what I was working towards the end of the year. And if this wasn't happening, that would be my New Year's resolution. But I know for a fact that's not going to happen. Why don't we think about other things that we can do instead? Why don't we think about trying different hobbies, different other activities to get us moving? Juggling around our lifestyle and our kids. Why don't we get our kids involved with some other activities and some goals that we can set? If we don't have time to prep food and eat on a regular 4 or 5 meals a day that are completely homemade, if we don't have time for that, why are we giving ourselves that unrealistic target to try and achieve? Let's think small and realistic. Let's think about having 1 meal a day that we know is going to be homemade and what we know is going to be a nutritionally balanced meal that can have our family can all have, rather than going for the 6, 7, 8 prepped meals that just isn't going to work. Are we going to be able to wake up and have a breakfast whilst we've got to fend for 2 or 3 kids, as well as get them ready to make sure that they're doing Joe Wicks's PE session, as well as logging into our computer to log into work? Is it realistic? So let's think about that. Let's think about realistic goals. Think about what we can control. Think about things that we can. I want to try and do more Pilates and stretching. I want to try and make sure that I can do these vlogs. This is a goal of mine because I have the ability to be able to sit here in my kitchen and talk to you about different topics and fitness related topics because I have the ability to. What I don't have the ability to do is go in the gym and show you workouts using weights. It's not accessible for me. So why would I set that target? think about it. Think about your goals. Think about what you can control, what you can't control, what's realistic, and give yourself a time frame as well. Give yourself a time frame of when you'd like to achieve this by. We haven't got any certainty of dates right now. We're very much in the unknown as to when things are going to be back open again, when it comes to gyms, when it comes to leisure centres, when it comes to restaurants. So think about what we can do. Think about what we have the ability to change in our lifestyle, rather than what we can't and then setting ourselves up to failure.